Episode 2, Chicken Dinner 3.0. What's going on, Sammy? How you feeling? Where are you? And how have the last 48 hours been?
Right outside Chicago, feeling great. You know, we could have really done this show in the middle of Sunday Night Football, though, and my energy might have been a little bit higher. I started to look through some of the reviews on not only Chicken Dinner, but on Bet Sweats. I was ready to run through a wall at about 8:30 p.m. I even called Joe Sunday night. I'm calling Joe at 8:30 for no reason. He's like, "What's up?" Look at the reviews. The reviews are in. They pounded Chicken Dinner with 5 stars and pounded Bet Sweats with 1 star.
I love it, dude. Love it. I don't think you're lacking energy at all. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Maybe we were lacking a little bit of energy the first time around, and people are like, oh, what a great episode. I'm like, really? That was like a C. Just wait till you see what we have in store moving forward. But love the reaction. We've just been inundated with positivity. We weren't on the air on Friday, so we didn't do our usual Friday segment, which is Friday Feels. And by the way, I was alerted to it, so I did go back and listen. In for us on Friday, Chris Mack, Kate Constable talked about us, and we felt the love. They were super nice, very complimentary of everything that we've done in the business, everything we did for that network. That was cool to see. But you're right, man. The numbers coming in and the reviews that popped up. There's a delay. There's like a 3-4 day delay. If you send something in, it's going to be a little bit before it pops up. But this is, as of right now, remember, we started this in 2016. As of right now, the most downloaded Chicken Dinner episode, and we know it's only going to climb. Our very first YouTube show, 269 likes, 91 comments, which really helps the algorithm. So like if you're into the show, if you've been following what we've been talking about, look at the conversation going on over there. People are talking about the same stuff that we've been addressing. And you're right, man. The reviews put it over the top. All of those coming through. We didn't say clearly go 1 star them, go 1 star them. We just said our content's not going to be there. Here's exactly how it all went down. So do with that what you will. And the people read between the lines, Sam.
I'm looking at the YouTube right here, and because we're on StreamYard, I can basically show this. This is so cool that people can comment on YouTube, and the YouTube really is there for everybody. I mean, it's such a popular platform right now. And I pinned a tweet or a comment, I guess. How long have you listened to Joe and Sam? 17 replies to that pinned comment. 1 year, years since the original, since day one, since their first day on that other show. Been listening to them put teams in the box since 2016. Learned of Sammy P through Shea and Irving. Like how they found us at all these different times. The start of Chicken Dinner 2.0. So you really just saw all these different people from all these different walks of life that found us at certain points. And now they can all come together on YouTube and chat amongst each other. And I think it's such a cool tool. And I'm, again, kicking myself that we didn't do this years and years and years ago. But to see the numbers roll through and the comments, I mean, 91 comments on a YouTube show is a lot. And by the way, I found out how to add chapters too. So very exciting stuff.
It really is. And you know what? We just kind of would show up every morning and we would just do our job. I speak for myself. I didn't think too much about who's listening and when they picked us up and how they know of us and all that stuff. I just don't think about it. Just do the job. And man, to see that was really cool. And that's what motivates us to come on here on a Sunday night. We want to give you guys the show. It's there for you waiting whenever you're free, podcast, YouTube, whatever. And you've been pushing the YouTube. You are spot on, man. And I talked a little bit about this on Twitter the other day, that we are going to try to do more and more video stuff. We're going to try things. And hey, if you have some feedback like, hey, that's really cool, do more of that, do less of this, I'm all ears. Like, we're figuring this out. The chains are off, and we're going to be able to do things that we just weren't able to do before. Like there's no hesitation on what we should talk about and shouldn't talk about. We can do whatever the hell we want with this show. That's why it's a blank canvas. And that's why we've been saying online and to you guys that this might, in the long run, be the best thing for us. And I'm there mentally, Sam. I really am. I said it on the air the other day, and I truly believe it. And the reaction that we've gotten, and I'm quickly reminded, I'm sure you are as well, there's a lot of people that aren't on Twitter. There are a lot of people that don't listen to our show every day, but they know us, they're close to us, and they're just finding it out. Like I don't want to say mistake, but I did post it on Facebook the other day, and a lot of people had no idea. So I've been dealing with those phone calls and those texts over the last 24 hours too.
It's a lot. It's been a lot. And then you compound that with the holiday season, and we're going to see a bunch of family and friends, and they're all going to ask the same thing: how's work? And I don't know that everybody's going to get the truth, because it's easier for me to backsell it afterwards. Like, I don't want to tell 50 people, oh, well, I'm actually like not hosting a show for money anymore, and Joe and I are going on our own. And then it's like, oh, I really hope it works out for Sam. You're like, I don't want that shit around Christmas, but
yeah,
it's fine. I have been setting up so many things. We've got, a call next week. We've got a meeting with our designer, who has already been texting me some ideas for more merch. We've got people reaching out to be a part of our potential network.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I have
Corby, by the way, is Corby's Corner will be a thing very, very
nice.
soon between
Nice.
Corby and myself. What were you about to say?
Yeah, I forgot to even tell you that I set up a call on Tuesday as well with a potential sponsor that wants to be involved. So yeah, I mean, go ahead, continue. I just wanted to add to that.
Well, I heard Ryan Horvat might want to do some stuff with
Yes.
Chicken Dinner.
He was brought up in the comments.
He posted he posted something tonight. We're doing this on Sunday, obviously. He posted sort of a celebration tweet about his Lions season win total under bet that he hit. Good for him. In the video, he's got the sling with the collarbone injury when he fell down the stairs at the bar. So I thought that was very funny. Like, he just can't escape some of this stuff. But the comments, to put a ribbon on this, and we got some NFL to react to and some college football to react to. The comments on YouTube were just so great. And I think you wanted to share one of them. This is from, is it Ricky Pucks? Oh, no, he had a good one too, but this is from the Apocalyptic Truth Teller. I know this isn't great visually, but it was a really nice review. If you kind of wanted to take us through it, because you clipped it and sent it to me, and I think everything he said in this comment is dead on, to be perfectly honest.
This was my favorite review, and nothing against anybody else. And please do comment. We love to see the feedback. But I thought this was great from Truth Teller. Don't take this the wrong way, but this is by far the best thing that could have happened to you guys. Listening to shows that have to do resets and commercial breaks every 15 minutes and having it highly censored is honestly a medium that needs to die in perpetuity. You guys cover sports betting, and having to hear, especially you, Sammy, be pigeonholed into talking like some corporate suit on these shows just isn't who you are. And I would hope you know that's a compliment. Also, I will be completely honest with you, Joe, Sam and Joe. The way the show got released into the podcast app was one of the most enraging things ever. We don't need every single 15 to 19-minute clip of the show being sent out into the podcast feed, followed by the 1 hour, hour 2, hour 3 podcast, and then the full show podcast every single day. It's basically spamming the show to the audience, and there is no way to filter that down without unfollowing the show altogether. Anyways, that's water under the bridge. Yeah, and each of us responded to that. We should address some of that. Correct. On the resets, that's probably going to take a little bit of time, but I think we did well in the first episode eliminating that. You know what you're listening to. You know what you clicked on. It isn't somebody in the car just kind of tuning in on, on their ride home from work or during their lunch break. And, whoa, what am I listening to? Who are they speaking with? We don't have to do resets. We're not going to have the big commercial breaks. Hopefully there are sponsors down the line And that would be a good thing if it bothers you. It's a good thing because it means that this is off to a successful start. Because if there's no revenue coming in, I don't know how long this is going to last. The severance only takes us so far. But the spamming really annoyed me. And I'll give you the God's to honest truth. When we started the network, the reason that happened was it was a strong suggestion from Eli Hershkovich, one of the top producers at the time. And I know what he was thinking. His thought process was, we need numbers. We need downloads. This is what it's all about. We need to sell that this is working, blah, blah, blah. So if you have somebody listening to one specific show and that show was 4 hours long, oh man, that's 12 episodes. And then you do hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, and then you have the full one too. That's 4 more. Now we've got 16 episodes in one day, and they're going to, the hardcore guys are going to download 16. That's like having 16 listeners, and it pumps up the number and it makes you look more popular than you really are. We ain't doing that. We'll have new content, but we're not going to put the same content into 4, 5 episodes. And I didn't like that as well. And when we would listen back, you'd probably listen back more than I did, Sam, the commercials and the different levels screaming at you. We're doing the editing. We're doing a lot of the producing, at least for now. There's going to be none of that. So I totally agree with Truth Teller that, production-wise, content-wise, quality of content, this is the best thing for the show.
I liked how Truth Teller also said in that comment, especially you, Sam, which is very funny.
Yeah.
About being not respectful, but being sort of shackled or hindered. Yeah, I definitely have a much quicker fuse than Joe for sure. We have these other comments here. This is from Rowdy Roddy. And this commenter said, 5 stars, the show must go on. Found the show this summer, and it has become a part of my everyday routine. I came for the sports gambling and have stayed for the barbecue tips and Lisa Ann. Chicken dinner to the moon. If that's not a P1 right there, nobody is. Nobody is.
That was a review that popped up on Apple Podcasts under Chicken Dinner tonight. That was one that you said, oh, you got to check these reviews out. And that one stood out to me. I love that. So keep them coming in. I told you at the very end of the show, and I mentioned in the first episode here of Chicken Dinner 3.0, that my goal was for the ratings and reviews for us to pass up the old show. Holy crap. When I took a look today, I was like, bam, the people are listening. Love it. So keep liking every video, commenting on every video on YouTube. And if you could leave us 5 stars and a review, that would be awesome. Spotify, we see the ratings. We don't see reviews, right? I'm not a Spotify guy.
I don't know that you can leave actual reviews. You can rate. I don't think you can review.
And we have a 5.0 over there.
Here's another one that we got from Disappointed LV. Nothing gold can stay. I love that. Great review. A true poet here. I laughed. I cried. Oop, here we go. One-man band over here directing this whole damn thing. I laughed. I cried. I became a better gambler. Joe, Sam, and crew brought their A game on a daily basis. The fact that these guys actually like to be around each other shines through in each episode. Learning how to think differently about betting sports is the gift this show gives. I, for one, will be hitting unsubscribe immediately and following over to Chicken Dinner. P.S. I wouldn't listen to Jim Rome if he was broadcasting from my living room.
I love it. I love it. And there was a comment in there about Jim Everett, which is an old reference when Everett was the quarterback of the Rams and Rome kept calling him Chris Everett and he went after him.
Yeah.
He tried to knock him out, which was very cool. That was a long time ago, Sam. And so I get the overall point. In the beginning, I said, I'm not really looking for you guys to 1 star. Who cares? We're not getting the feed. We're pissed off about it. Go ahead. 1 star it. I'm very curious what they end up doing with that podcast feed that they had to keep. Let's fire them and give them a very little chance of succeeding. Well, the last laugh is going to be on our side because we are going to succeed, and it's because of you guys. So we appreciate all the positivity. We appreciate you helping spread the word because that's how this thing's going to work.
Where would you like to start? We had a college football game on Friday.
You
We
know
had
where we're
3
starting.
on Saturday. We had NFL Sunday. I have no idea where you want to start.
I mean, I've got to know. So you're in town for Christmas. You know the mania that's going on right now with the Bears. That was the most exciting game of the NFL weekend. Yeah, we have a lot to discuss. Are you bending at all? Are you kind of like, this is cool because you've been watching it from afar for the most part while talking to a lot of Bears fans? Um, I think it's really interesting what's going on. It's kinda like, this can't continue. This can't continue, and it keeps on happening. So, you were at the tailgate the other day. We'll get into that later on, but what are your thoughts being closer to the eye of the storm that is Chicago Bears football and finding a way, even though most times they should not be winning these games?
Lottie's was on fire. That's where we ended up watching the game. Jake Hassan, Mario Heron, myself, Paul Aspen made an appearance at the end. Um, we were just funneling shots. I mean, the energy was insane. And you know what's wild? The game sucked for like 3.5 quarters.
Mhm.
That's the truth.
Yep.
And then in the final, 4 minutes or so, maybe even less, Caleb with 2 unbelievable plays. Just unbelievable. The 4th down and 4, the touchdown to Walker. I mean, last year he sails that ball into the first row, and it was perfectly located to where only his guy could catch it on 4th and 4. Just unbelievable. And then you get the onside kick. Everything that had to go right went right. And to see that locker room, I mean, we just had a comment to talk about how much we love going to work. Who has more fun than the Bears right now? Like, that culture is unbelievable. And I think early in the year, it pissed me off because it was just too much. It
Mhm.
was so fast and they were winning games and it was good, very best. And it just like, it's kind of cringy. But there's a lot of genuine there. And those guys actually appear like they love each other, and they're definitely playing for that coach, man. It's just the Bears and Patriots. They've had a lot of breaks go their way. The schedule hasn't been all that difficult, but to be where they are at Christmas, like division champs potentially, NFC North and AFC East. Good grief, man. Like, I don't want to say I believe, the other day somebody was like, "Oh, I think the Bears can win it all." And it shouldn't be that black and white, because this was a team that, was picking first in the draft a couple of years ago. But to shatter the win total 8.5 to win the division, most likely now, considering everything that happened, the Packers lose, the Lions lose.
They're minus 1,000.
Yeah, they're winning it. They
Yeah.
are. And I did not think that was going to happen coming into the year. Now, is there anything we can bet? Is there anything we can do? I don't know. The Ben Johnson coach of the year stuff was looking good, but then the Patriots just erased a 24-13 deficit. So Vrabel's going to win coach of the year. They
Well,
up, I think so. Or Liam Cohen, maybe.
what if the Jaguars get the 1 seed? That's in play.
Well, you saw McDonald too. We talked about this last week. McDonald's number went from 5-1 to like 240 or 250 after Seattle beat the Rams. It's just hard. It's hard to envision the Patriots going 14-3 and Vrabel not winning coach of the year.
What a coaching cycle. Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel, and Liam Cohen. You can make, as you just said, a strong argument for any of them. And oh, by the way, there's McDonald. As far as the Bears, yeah, it was ugly for 3.5 quarters. The penalties were infuriating. 10 of them for 105 yards. 4 of them were 15-yard penalties, too. You can't overlook that. The drops from the receivers. They didn't have your guy, Roma Dunze. They didn't have Burden out there. They were feeling that a little bit throughout 3.5 quarters of that game. And then the game completely flipped. You do have to bring up everybody who was not on the field for Green Bay. I don't know how you avoid that. If Jordan Love finishes that game, Packers probably win, right? I think that's fair because it didn't take long to figure out, oh, yeah, they can only run the ball when Willis is out there. And now Jacobs is out of the game as well. Like he was out there, and you're missing your right tackle. And remember, you still don't have Kraft, missing a ton of guys, but it was still 16-6 at the 2-minute warning. And the Bears found a way. Before that onside kick, according to Next Gen Stats, they had a 0.5% win probability. 0.5%. I wish I would have seen what the live line was at that point. You mentioned believe and Super Bowl out there. That's my question to people, because I will say that I do run into a lot of Bears fans, and shocks me as much as anyone, that are actually level-headed about this whole thing. How are they doing this? I don't believe is what they say. It's fun, but I don't believe. And my question is, you don't believe in what? You don't believe what? Is this a Super Bowl conversation? Because, okay, I'm fine. I'm there with you. Or is this a true contender conversation? Or that they're going to win a playoff game conversation? I'm just not sure what people mean when they say, I don't believe. I think some are also scared to outright say that they're a fraud, because there's some of that, like they're tiptoeing around it, but they don't want to say it because they're going to be proven wrong if the Bears continue to play this way. But the don't believe stuff I think is kind of interesting, because when you look at that NFC, and even if you go to the very top with the Rams and Seahawks, all of these teams that are going to be in the playoffs have issues. All of them. Yes, the Bears have issues. They have no pass rush. Caleb, sometimes he doesn't turn it on until the very end. The defense stinks, but it's year one. And yeah, they have issues. They're probably not going to the Super Bowl, but that's okay. It doesn't mean it's going to be a disappointment.
They're just getting started, and they have a quarterback who is so young and has so much room to grow. Who would you rather be right now? The Bears or the Lions for the next 5 years? It's not even a question to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even I mean, come on. Like, it's obvious. You'd much rather have the young controllables than the, Jared Goff, Dan Campbell. Like, you knew that shit was going to flame out. I didn't think it would happen this year with Detroit, but we're talking about a Detroit team that was supposed to go to the Super Bowl last year and then had one of, the highest ceilings in the NFC this year. And Joe, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Nope.
So that's how quick it could end if you can't sustain success and you can't draft and develop. I joke about the Bears group all the time, but to hit on guys like, obviously, Caleb, the right tackle, right, Monungai, Loveland, Luther Burden, who didn't even play on Saturday, like, to hit on guys like that in a very small window, it's promising, man. It's exciting. And I also, I have the board up here for week 17. Did you see the number for Bears Niners?
Yes, I did.
It's only 3. That's it.
It's come down a lot. 2 weeks ago, that thing was like around 5.5, 6.
So the market is finally, let me put it that way. That's the best way to do it. The market finally respects the Bears. It may have taken 3 months, but they do now. To have the Bears, pick them at home against the Packers, and now only a 3-point dog at San Francisco, they're telling you right now the Bears and Niners are equal on a neutral. That's what the market is telling you at this point. And I'm a big San Francisco guy, but I'm not laying 3. I want to shout out my buddy Sweet Lips, who I've told you about. He's the guy who's 6'8" and goes to every Bears game, big tailgate guy. I talked to him today for about 20 minutes, and he was at the game. He goes to every game, home and away. And he said, you couldn't even explain how loud it was in that stadium the final 3-4 minutes of the fourth quarter. And then forget when the game ended. I mean, the touchdown pass, the game winner, when Caleb ripped it to DJ, he's like, it was just deafening. You just, it was so loud you couldn't hear anything. And I was like, dude, that's got to be one of the best games you ever went to. And he started bringing up some games from the Mike Brown season.
Oh, yeah. Dick Duran year. Yes.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite Bears team of all time, the 0-1 team. They just kept finding ways to win. Mike Brown, I think, had 2 game-winning touchdowns that season, and
Like
that was a
walk-offs.
special team. Yeah, walk-offs. Yeah, definitely the one against Cleveland and Tim Couch. But he said something that I thought was very interesting. I actually wrote it down. He said, the Packers usually do that to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Packers find ways to win and have for 30 years or whatever. So when the Bears do it to the Packers, it's like, oh shit, this is real.
Caleb dimes. It's not a coincidence that they now have 6 wins in the last 2 minutes of games. I'm not saying it's sustainable, but 6 times so far this year, they're trailing in the final 2 minutes and they leave winning that game. Like, if you believe in it, Caleb has it during money time. I had a buddy that was texting me, taking shots, at Caleb. I'm like, there's no pass rush. There's no this. There's no that. It's like, oh, you're making excuses. I'm like, no, I'm just saying that Caleb's not the biggest problem on this roster. Like, they went and attacked the offensive line. I'm sure next off season they're going to attack the defensive line. And then after that, boom, the 46-yard touchdown. I thought they were running the ball for sure. They just needed a field goal to win. It's 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 46. What a call. Ben Johnson play action. And there was no separation on that play. That's not criticizing DJ Moore. It's just, it was in the perfect spot. And that was a Moore who got destroyed earlier in that game. That dude is so tough. They're a very likable bunch. They really are. Bears are a big story. There are other teams in the NFL. You mentioned the Lions. How about that? I kept thinking about you and John Murray during that game. If you saw the very end, that last possession was the definition of ref ball. Both sides, constant penalties. It was nonstop. I'm not saying most of them should not have been called. They probably should have. But I'm like, how are they going to decide this in the very end? Yes, Goff scored a touchdown, but there was an offensive penalty. Pittsburgh Steelers win. It was wild, man. But you said the Lions probably out of the playoffs, and you're right. It's their own fault. They suddenly have no run game, none. They had 15 rushing yards today, and they let that Steelers team have nearly 500 yards in their house.
I saw a very funny tweet. It was of the lead official in the game. So it's a picture of him. Gavin McHugh had the tweet. He's had some really good tweets this year. So the quote is, ruling on the field is a touchdown. And then it's the ref standing there, quote, but the game is over. Go fuck yourself. I mean, well, so I tweeted, you tweeted first, but I didn't see your tweet because I was actually eating dinner, 3 racks of ribs tonight, buddy, by the way. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Crushed them. Not me, all 3, but we did 3 racks. I had to, as the game ended, I put my rib down and I ran to my phone and tweeted. Like, you just have to appreciate the romanticism of ref ball. When the Lions scored 2 touchdowns on, the pivotal drive of the game, and they both get called back for offensive pass interference, and then the refs are just like, yeah, game's over. Like, I often ask myself rhetorically, and Pizzola's been doing this for years, why do I gamble on this stupid league? And I say that as somebody who, in my tip sheet and on Fox, picked the Steelers +7.
Yeah.
Those calls were horrible. And I won money on the game. And it's just so funny. It's so funny. And then did you watch Sunday night with Baltimore, New England?
Yeah, of course.
Kayshon Boutte gets tackled on a pass play by the Ravens defender, and they don't even call anything. The ball is in the air, and he just gets dragged down, and it's like every game has something. Now, some are more obvious than others, but there's a reason the guys at the Westgate call it ref ball, because the refs could at any point just decide to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of bets that we were on, good call on Pittsburgh. You mentioned New England, Baltimore.
Oh, man, that pissed me off, dude. I had Ravens -3.
Well, okay. So you know what? We each had a loss where it kind of felt like, and people will probably say that I'm stretching on this one, but it will probably feel like the quarterback injury flipped things. We had a lot of quarterback injuries on this Sunday. But when Lamar leaves, it's like, ah, really? I felt that way on Saturday. And I know the final score ended up being a blowout, but I do know that when Mariota was out there, that was a ball game. They were in that game. They were covering pretty close. They were leading for a good chunk of that game. And then Josh Johnson comes in. Oh, God, is that guy terrible? It completely flipped the game. And I think we saw that in a number of instances, and you're going to continue to see it. God, there is some awful quarterback play in the league right now. There are these QB3s, QB4s that they have to go to, and it's hard. And I'm sure some of these odds makers, maybe we'll talk to one later this week, they're having a tough time. It's like you can't make these numbers high enough.
Who's going to start at quarterback when it's Green Bay and Baltimore? Is that going to be Malik Willis and Snoop Huntley?
Look at the Christmas games. It's a disaster.
Well, and Minshew got hurt today, too.
I know.
2 chief quarterbacks back-to-back weeks, ACL, Mahomes and Minshew. So they're going to start some guy I've never even heard of. Yeah, geez. Dallas, Washington, Detroit, Minnesota, Denver, KC. Holy shit. Denver's a 12.5-point favorite at Kansas City.
Home dog. 13. I think there's a 13 out there, a 13-point home dog, and I cannot take them. Cannot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they've given up. I think they're done.
Yeah, Schwartz called that. He nailed that on Wednesday on Bear Bets. He said the Chiefs are cooked.
Yep.
And we saw that move come in Friday and Saturday. They took it down to 3, like that thing got to 3. It was 4.5, 4, and it was 3 all over the place. Yeah, I mean, with the Ravens thing, like that's just been kind of the story of my year, man. And like I'm as transparent as anybody. Like I have a record at the bottom of my newsletter and all my picks on Fox. And last year I crushed. This year I'm getting smoked. And Ravens -3. Lamar gets hurt. You're still up 24-13 with 9 minutes to go. You should cover that, right? And then, Friday night, we got Oklahoma. By the way, Oklahoma got smashed near the wire. They went off like 2.5 at most books. There was an offshore Oklahoma -3. And we were talking about Oklahoma pick 'em -1. They're up 17-0 at home. How do you not win that bet? It's been a strange year, man. And there's been no Uncle Momentum, none of that. Like every close game, I feel like I lose, except for James Madison, I guess. But that was never in doubt, catching 21, right? They're down 34-6 or whatever. But it's just been a weird year. Like I'm not doing anything differently. It just sucks. I haven't had 1 week this year where I've gone like 4-0 or 5-0.
Well, that's it. That's my problem. So the last few weeks I've done better. I think like in our contest where we give 5 games against the spread, 3 straight winning weeks. But it's a grind. I'm grinding to 3-2 every week. I'm like, okay. And I haven't been doing that all season. I'm just saying over the past few weeks. I'm not trying to sit here and complain about 60%. But again, today, I'm all right. We're off to a 3-1 start. Feeling good. That last one's not coming in. And it wasn't. And I was considering other ones. All right, I don't know what to do here. I didn't give it out on our first episode. I guess I'll go Denver -3. I don't love it, but I don't want to take Cleveland, even though I probably should. I end up, in the end, I always pick the wrong one. Like, I'll consider 4. What do? I'm splitting hairs. I'll find the loser in that bunch. That's how it's been for me. I did feel good about Carolina and the Chargers. I told you that the other day. So those things came through. Carolina came down to the very end, and dude, the Bucs have been bad for 2 months, and it feels like nobody's noticed. I don't understand why they're still going to the window saying, "Oh, they're going to take care of business. They're going to win," and covers a 3-point road favorite in Carolina, where Carolina plays better. Baker ends the game on an interception. 8-7 for Carolina. The Bucs 7-8. Why were they $4 last week? I don't understand. Tampa Bay is a game back, and they're still favored to win the division. They're $1.70.
I texted the doc, Eric Eager. I texted him in all caps today. Keep pounding. Yeah, man. They're fired up down there. They're just fired up. What a team. What a turnaround in Carolina. Really impressive stuff there. As you were talking about, you know, picking the wrong game, like you got it down to 2 and then you pick one and that one doesn't win and the other one of course wins.
Mm-hmm.
I did put out a tweet about some mailbag questions, and this was something that I kind of wanted to get to. Mikey Betts had a really good question. I'm going to share it here if you're watching on video. He asked about CLV, and there's something that I kind of wanted to, talk about. He said, not sure if this is the kind of question you're looking for, but does CLV still hold the same value it used to, in your opinion? I'm asking because I got the best CLV of my life this year, but overall I've won less than the last 2 years. Should this still be a big focus on my part? And we can answer that in a second. But I want to be honest with you, man. My favorite playoff bet, and the first one that I made, was Miami plus 4.5. I bet that the day the bracket came out. And I hit it, pretty nice. But by the time we got to week of the game, it's 3. And I'm like, well, I can't give out a bad number. And why didn't I just do it? Why didn't I just stick to my gut? If I liked it at 4.5, I should still like it at 3. But I didn't pick it on any show. I didn't put it in a newsletter. I didn't pick it on Fox. I didn't pick it here. And it was my favorite bet at 4.5, but then it gets down to 3 and I'm like, well, I should have given it a 4.5. I talked myself off of a winner content wise because the number moved 1.5. And that never used to be me. I never used to be a guy that was, I don't want to say scared, but 3 years ago, I'm putting out Miami plus 3 on everything.
Yeah.
Even though I got the worst of the number, I liked Miami in the game, but I didn't plant my flag in the content game on Miami because, it moved 1.5. And it really pissed me off because I should have just went with my gut there. So I didn't answer that question that Mikey, asked about CLV, but CLV has kept me off some winners this year. I've had some, I could have taken 11 with a team and then the game went down to 9 and I'm like, I missed the 10 and then the team wins outright. But I'm too much of a pussy because I didn't want to take 9 because I didn't give out 11. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does make some sense. And I think it's a very timely question. It's really interesting and it has me thinking. First off, I think we should address the fact that the key numbers haven't changed, but the importance of which numbers are key has been adjusted, right? We've talked about 2, how that comes into play more. I don't want to bet it if it's -2. I liked it a lot better when it was 1, 1.5. With all the 2-point attempts, some of these numbers are not as key as they used to be. And so if we quickly stop me when a point spread comes into play, where a 1-point move makes a difference. Buffalo, they win by 3. The line was 10.5. Chargers, they win by 17? The line was 1.5. Cincinnati wins by 20-something. They were favored by 3.5. Tennessee was a dog. They win outright handily. Jacksonville, a dog. They win outright handily. Houston barely wins. They were a 2-touchdown favorite. Bears win by 6 in overtime. Philly wins by 11. The number was around a touchdown. Carolina wins as a dog. The number is not coming into play in any of these games, man. Minnesota was close. They were 2.5-point favorites. They win by a field goal. New Orleans creamed them. Atlanta won by a touchdown. That number was around 3. Pittsburgh was a 7, 8-point dog. How about that? Game day action, game day steam. All on Detroit. That thing closed 8. Pittsburgh wins outright. So to his point, if we're looking at this week's card, maybe one game, the move might matter. So I think he might be onto something there that we shouldn't be scared. And, I had a moment, I was talking about those contest numbers. I had a moment where I'm like, should I do the Chargers and the Panthers? I'm only getting 2.5, but I like them at 3.
Well, 2.5 and 3 is obviously much different than
but
4.5.
It both won easily, but they both won, right? Carolina won as a dog, and the Chargers won as a dog easily.
For sure. I mean, there have been several times this year where I've liked the game Monday, Tuesday, And, it was different with Bet Sweats because we were doing it every day.
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if we like something on Monday or Tuesday for the weekend, we could just fire it on Bet Sweats. And that was easy to maintain and keep in order. But like when you're doing shows on Thursday and then making picks on Friday, there are just things that you just can't pick anymore, right? Because like if you like a team plus 6 on Monday and it gets to 3.5 by Thursday, you just can't make that pick anymore. Even though that team could probably win outright and maybe did win outright, if I take team A plus 6 on Monday, but I don't want to give it out at plus 3.5 on Thursday, oh, let me find something else. And then that team gets railroaded. Like that happened to me so many times this year. And I don't know, man. It's just been a weird, like I said, it's been a weird year all the way around. And then, the anvil dropped in October and that kind of threw everything through a wrench. But I don't think Alabama, Oklahoma. I don't think Oklahoma was a bad bet. I think the result was wrong, but I don't think we did anything wrong. You needed a punter to drop the ball. You needed a pick 6 at the end of the half. It's just like that's the way it be sometimes, man. But yeah, I don't know. But any other thoughts on the CLV thing before we move on?
No, but I understand the idea. He asked the question because he's been obviously thinking about it, and he's a sharp guy. He's a
Yeah, he
regular
is.
on the show. He checks in, sharp dude. So I understand where he's coming from and why he brought that question up. That's a strong one. Before we dive into college, just quick market moves. Sunday night, the numbers are out, and what I'm noticing, Sam, is we talked about the number of quarterback injuries. Wow, compared to the look ahead, some of the moves that we're seeing on these numbers. Thursday, you've got Christmas. We mentioned the quarterback situation with Washington. That was Dallas -3. Now it's Dallas -5.5.
Hmm.
Also, Christmas, Detroit, Minnesota. It was Detroit -3.5. Now that's 5.5, 6. And you addressed the KC Denver one. That was KC. No, I'm sorry. After the Mahomes injury, that was Denver -5.5. And now they're down to this dude that nobody knows, 12.5, 13. Christmas is going to be tough to bet.
I hate all these games. First
Yeah.
glance, I do. I could maybe get there on Washington at home, catching 5.5. Maybe Minnesota. Ain't happening. I was watching some of their O-line guys just not even attempt to block. The play McCarthy got hurt on, the right tackle just didn't block his guy and didn't even try. And McCarthy got absolutely creamed in the background. That was, I think, the Brian Burns touchdown, right?
Mhm. It's another injury, another quarterback injury.
Yeah, well, he's been hurt all year, not only mentally but physically. And then, good Lord, I mean, Denver off that loss today, that was a bad loss by Denver.
Mm.
And now they're gonna get off the mat and go to Kansas City to take on QB3. I mean, their issues in Kansas City are massive right now. I hate all these games though. If you made me pick one, I'd probably take Washington. As for the games on Sunday, I'm gonna scroll down here on the Odds Logic screen. Let me get a little Rams Falcons action in there too on Monday night. Whew, that Philly Buffalo game is going to be a good one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And Buffalo opens 3. Now we're 2.5. I could see the Eagles getting bet a little bit more. Maybe we get down to 2. That's going to be probably the game of the day, I would think, on Sunday. And I'm curious to see where this total goes. We're 44.5 up to 45. I think we could get this one to like 46.5, 47. I think the over money is going to come in and keep coming. And Pinnacle's at 45. Some of the domestic books, DraftKings, FanDuel, 45.5. You're probably going to get some points in that one, as you do in every Buffalo game, because think about Philly's running game against that Buffalo run D. It should be pretty nice. I mean, in Buffalo, Shador stinks, but Shador was actually making some plays today, and Cleveland got 20 points on Buffalo's defense. I've never been a guy who's believed Buffalo has this great defense. My belief in Buffalo is because of the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think that total keeps going up. There's Tampa. There's your Buccaneers again, favored by 4.5, 5.5 on the road. Ugh, no thanks.
Buffalo, Cleveland. I think that's worth addressing quickly.
Yep.
That result wasn't the most shocking result in the world, though. Cleveland plays better at home. Their defense shows up. They were embarrassed in Chicago last week. And then Buffalo is coming off one of their biggest performances of the season. It let down their humans. It was very natural. I just couldn't get there. I'm like, there's so many ways for a blowout here. I
Yeah.
just couldn't take the 10 and a half, and I should have. But yeah, I wasn't surprised, and that's not going to scare me off Buffalo when you get it short of 3. Now, what would scare you off Buffalo, like you were hinting at, that matchup, that Eagles run game going against the Bills rushing defense. That's what could scare you. But there's no doubt that's the best game of the week. Interesting Saturday games. Remember, we got a couple more Saturday games again. It went from Houston -1.5 to Chargers -1.5. Favorite flipped right through the 0. Chargers win again. What are they, won 7 of 8? I'm off the train of fading that offensive line. That Cowboys defense, 0 sacks against the beat-up Chargers offensive line. They're back to being terrible on defense. It's embarrassing at this point. So I thought that was interesting because Houston just barely survived against arguably the worst team in football in the Vegas Raiders. And speaking of Vegas, you have Vegas and you've got the Giants. They both want to lose, right? I mean, you would think that number came down. It's Giants. It's all over the place between 1 and like 2.5, but it's all over the map, man. Maybe you should walk outside, record a video talking about the Giants or the Knicks.
No, I'm good on that. This is going to be an interesting line move. I can't wait to see the first real move in Seattle, Carolina. So currently, Seahawks favored by 7 on the road. I wonder where Westgate opened. They did open 7.5. So we've already seen a little bit of a move there. Actually, that was a look ahead. Look ahead was 7.5. They reopened 7. I wonder if the first move is to 6.5 or 7.5. Because I could see those 7s getting wiped. And to be honest with you, I think I could get behind a Carolina +7 bet. Like, that would be something I'd like to have now. Do you think go 6.5 first or 7.5? What do you think?
Carolina, man, that's a team. It is always a struggle to try and figure out which Carolina team is going to show up on a week-to-week basis. And this is the game before the game, which it's the Bucs and the Panthers again. This time it'll be on the road, but Seahawks, extra time to prepare, at home again. I understand why you're there. I get it. Keep in mind, that's the best road team in football. Man, Seahawks. Darnold has not played well for a while now. So that's the concern. I know that the Bucs always have a strong rushing defense. I was expecting more out of the rushing offense out of the Panthers. We saw very little today. So this is going to be a tough matchup for them. Do you think it could surprisingly be a little bit higher scoring than expected?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I do love Seattle's defense, of course.
Yeah.
It just feels like this is a spot. You want to talk about spots, and you were saying, Buffalo just had that huge win against New England, and you wanted to get to Cleveland. Seattle won the game of the NFL season on Thursday.
Yeah.
And went for 2 and slayed the Rams. Now you got to go to Carolina. That just feels like a number I would never lay. I would never lay Seattle in this spot.
No.
Personally.
Not laying 7 at all. I hear you there. Anything else, NFL, before we jump to college?
No, we can do that. Let me scroll down. Those games are all on January 1st. Actually, the first one's on New Year's Eve. Miami and Ohio State. What did Colin Wilson make the game?
I don't know. You tell me, Sammy.
I just don't know how we keep doing this with Colin Wilson. He had a bad one last year. I think this one was somehow worse, though. That was when Ohio State was beating the snot out of Oregon. And he projected that Ohio State would open 1 against Texas, I think. Or did he have Texas -1? And then Ohio State opened -6 in that game. So way off. Colin Wilson projected Ohio State -5 against Miami.
Yeah.
And the number opened 9.5. And as we look at the board right now on Odds Logic, 9, 9, 9.5, 10, 10, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. To be that far off, it's alarming to have. I mean, you're not even close. You're not even in the ballpark. You make it 5 and it opens 9.5. That's embarrassing.
I saw that tweet scroll by from our buddy Brett, and I'm just like, huh? I didn't even look at the numbers at that point. I was like, it just didn't make any sense. And plus, you've had other books. Yeah, we keep doing it. You're right. He does the wrong team favorite a lot. A lot. That's been
Yeah,
out
I have him muted.
Yeah.
That's enough. But then like I'm getting it sent to me and it's just like, what do you want me to say? Like it's not.
Brett knew that was a bad number.
He probably did. I actually didn't text Brett. And I like Brett put it out there saying that it was Colin's number. Like Brett didn't do anything wrong.
He's
just
promoting a former coworker, which is nice of him because he's got a massive following.
The number was not even close. To say that it would be 5 when it opens 9.5 is not great, but I digress. So there are the 4 games right there. I guess we could just go rotation order. Thoughts on them real quick. Miami, Florida, Ohio State, 9.5, total 42.
Yeah. Miami, how about that game? We didn't even address it. I feel like we need to. You said Miami early in the week. I was talking about the under. Thankfully, I ended up betting both. They were easy cashes.
Nice. Yeah.
Man, that was something. You get a scoreless game that deep into it. Marcel Reed did not look like a Heisman Trophy contender, even though he was throughout much of that year. The whole game, every time they were celebrating a missed field goal, and this goes for both sides, every time they were celebrating it, I just kept thinking, I want to see a Cristobal versus Elko cage match. Who do you think would win? It just kept popping into my mind because, Elko's, he's a big dude. And then you've got Cristobal with a super tight shirt and, he's flexing basically out there when he's celebrating all those missed field goals or any good play. Who would you take in that matchup?
Cristobal would whoop his ass.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I think part of it is like Elko's just so big, he might kind of push him away. And
I don't know, man.
No?
I've heard stories about Mario lifting weights with some of the players at Oregon and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a captain of some of those Miami teams that played for a national championship. So, I mean, that was a bad dude when he played. Like, he's a big guy.
Still is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
like
why I was thinking of it. I was like, that's a guy I don't want to fight.
No.
Because even with the disparity with the size, like, I don't care what the weight disadvantage is. I think you're right on that.
I would probably take, 42 is such a low number. And I get it because obviously Miami and A&M just played in an absolute rock fight. Yeah. And Ohio State's defense is very, very good. Could you get there on over 42? Because that's kind of what I want to do.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I make the game 45. So I see a little bit of an advantage on the over.
Is there a side you lean to?
Not really. I mean, I could easily find myself taking Miami and then being like, why did I do that? You know what I mean?
If it's even close to the total of 48.5, Miami, Texas A&M, what do you think this total is? Are we closer to 44?
Well, I mean, I'm 45, but that's like that's no reaction. Like that's just a true number.
True.
Obviously, you're looking at what Miami just did, and Miami's defense did play really well in the game. Their D coordinator had an awesome game plan for A&M. I mean, they had Reed seeing ghosts out there. But I lean over. I lean over 42 in that game. And obviously we got time. That game is not until the 31st. And then the next 3 games are all on New Year's Day, January 1. You knew Oregon would probably be the favorite. And that's not a surprise. I like Tech though. I will be on Tech. Obviously I have Tech some futures there. I have an exactor or two with Tech in the mix. So I'll be taking the 1.5. I don't expect this to really change much. Total in this one, 52.5. And again, the Ducks a very small favorite here. That'll be in Miami. Ironically enough, Miami will be playing in Texas, and then Oregon and Texas Tech will play in Miami.
How about that JMU touchdown? Minute 5 left. 99-yard drive.
Yeah.
For the cover.
I needed that one.
Oh, I know you did. I did not need that one. That one went against me. That one went in your favor. But you mentioned Oregon, that you figure they would be the favorite. Why? Because I kind of think Texas Tech's going to close as the favorite. Maybe I'm dead wrong on this.
See, I don't know,
think
man.
that's
The
direction
public
the money
loves
goes.
Oregon. Public loves betting the Ducks.
True. More couple of picks. That worries me. And I know people will say, well, the game was over anyways. I don't know. Do we completely disregard that Oregon gave up over 500 yards to JMU?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would have told you that Oregon would score 51 points, like, you're not covering 17 or 17. That was Tulane. 20 and a half, 21.
Right.
You're not covering that because JMU's not going to score in the 30s. That was alarming. And I know some of the Oregon guys like, well, they were playing the backups. So like, kind of. Not really, though.
What about the picks, too? That's concerning. It's concerning. I'll be on Texas Tech no matter what. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
I'm
wrong in the line.
I think Alabama is going to be the public dog that gets put down. That's the Rose Bowl. Yeah, I'm not taking 7 there. That line is so fishy. And they opened at 6.5. It got bet right away to 7 in Vegas offshore. You know, all the sharp books are 7. Then you got, of course, DraftKings and FanDuel, your parlay shops, as I call them. They're 6.5. But Pinnacle, Chris, Superbook, South Point, 7s. And Alabama plus 7. Think about it. You could already write this script. Everybody, I get 7 with Alabama against Indiana. What am I missing? That's going to be pros against Joes. The pros are going to be on Indiana for sure.
Yep. You're right about that, no doubt. So what did we learn about Simpson? There was a lot of talk last week, and it was ratcheted up, I'd say, midweek, and that's why we got that flip to Oklahoma being the favorite. Are we thinking Simpson was fine, or it was just, okay, he was better than he was in recent weeks? Where were we at with Simpson?
Well, it doesn't look like he was like that banged up. I mean, if he was playing through a couple things, so be it. I mean, it was bet like he was hurt, and I made a couple phone calls, and one of the guys in Vegas that was the first to move off the 1.5 said, yeah, like we heard he's not looking great, hasn't been playing well. They took some bets on Oklahoma. I mean, that's the game day money against Alabama was eye opening, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pulling into Buffalo and it's 1.5. And then by the time I'm showered and getting ready to go to the Bulldog Christmas party, it's 2.5, 3 against Alabama on the day of the game. So, I mean, somebody somewhere was spreading the word that Simpson was hurt. And, a lot of times those moves come true. And, I was getting texts. They actually didn't even have the game on at the party, which I thought was like, oh, okay. Like maybe friends and like not sweating games is the way to go. I kind of appreciated it. The game was not on at the party, and these guys host the biggest radio show in Buffalo, and they don't even care about the college football playoff game, which was kind of nice, to be honest with you. But I'm getting texts. It's 17-0, and I'm like, oh, well, that's a win. That's what you think when you're up 17-0 at home. So I see Indiana kind of running the line of scrimmage. Their defense is going to give Alabama some problems for sure, and Bama can't run the ball. I mean, they have 40, 50 rushing yards in the game? Like, just not a complete Alabama team by any stretch. And then what are you doing, Ole Miss, Georgia? 6.5, 7, highest total of the 4, 56.5.
This is the one game in the quarters where we get a repeat. We get a rematch. October 18th, Georgia wins 43-35. Whew. It's going to be tough to take the under after seeing that 43-35 score. And you know that Ole Miss defense leaves a lot to be desired, for sure. Don't forget, in that game, Ole Miss was up by 9 going into the fourth quarter. Then Georgia shut them out 17-0 to close out the game. Obviously, a high-scoring affair. Georgia had over 500 yards in that game, and they ran all over them. They could not stop the run. Over 200 yards. They ran it 49 times. Careful about the repeat. Interesting, the Ole Miss Tulane game, it was almost the same score as when they played early on in the regular season. So that was kind of interesting. And then we had the Alabama-Oklahoma result flip. But that first matchup, Alabama had all the turnovers. Obviously not this time around. Total is the highest of the 4 games for good reason. 56.5. The number 6.5, 7. I keep staring at that total. Are we going to see a shootout like we did the first time around? That's what I keep going back to with that Ole Miss defense.
See, I'm kind of on the other side. I think Kirby's going to have some adjustments ready, and I think Georgia's going to just run the ball.
Yeah.
And
Again.
milk a lot of clock. Yeah. I mean, long way to go. I mean, my number's not 56.5 high. I'm in like 52, 53 range. But that's baked in my respect for Georgia and their ability to make adjustments. You mentioned how they made adjustments in the first meeting, and that's just Kirby at halftime. So you take Kirby and you give him 10 days or more to prepare for a team that he already figured out. Like, that's not good for Ole Miss. So I think I'm kind of Georgia and under at this point. My favorite play, though, is Tech. And I know for a fact I will be on Tech, and I will not wuss out. I will pick Tech on the show when we get closer to the game. Yeah. No,
that was the easiest one, right? I mean, that was just obvious, but that's where that's where we were beforehand. We had Tech going far, but also part of it for me, I don't know if it is for you at all. I was not that impressed with Oregon. I didn't like what I saw. There were some holes in their game, in that game. I know it was a backdoor cover, and I don't think it's me being bitter about that. Like, I have concerns with them turning the ball over as much as they gave up yardage wise.
What else? What else do we have to get to here? We're already like an hour in, which is fine. It's almost midnight here. Who says we're not burning the midnight oil on chicken dinner?
Let's say this. Remind everybody, because they see it if they're watching on YouTube, but if they're listening via podcast, make sure you're following the show on X, chickenxdinner. And we appreciate we talked about the comments a lot earlier, but every time we post something from that account related to this show, people are retweeting it. They're sharing it. So we love it. We appreciate it. At Joe Ostrowski, at SB Shoot on Twitter, on Instagram, at betchickendinner. I'm at Joe Ostrowski. Both of us more active, bigger digital footprint. So we're working on that. The YouTube page, subscribe at betchickendinner, and Apple, Spotify, subscribe, ratings, reviews. Love it all good stuff. Tell me about the tailgate. What happened? Because it sounded like it was quite the adventure with multiple stops on Saturday.
Yeah, so tailgate got there about 4:30 and then just start firing shots. Like, these are the guys that I grew up with, and it turns into this whole thing. And when the Bears are good, the tailgate's packed. It's all these South Side guys. And when they see me, they just want to do shots. So, like, I'm like the shot guy, apparently, which you know full well. The food was great, though. I mean, like, so Boots, my buddy who runs the tailgate, he's like a chef, a caterer. So he's got, 6 grills, pizza ovens, all this stuff. They had this rigatoni cacio e pepe hybrid that I was dipping bread in. They had like these chicken caprese quesadillas. They had pepperoni pizzas. They had Vesuvio chicken wings. It's unbelievable spread. And then they start passing around shots. And I put some of the pictures online. I must have done like 6 shots. And these are homemade shots. Like, they're in jugs. that are definitely brewed in a bathtub or some shit like that. Like they're not like it's not from a bottle from a liquor store. It's somebody concocting shots. And I don't trust like if it was 6 shots, it was probably like 10 shots liquor wise. You know what I'm saying? Like these were strong. The one was in a jug that said Santa's Last Ride, and it was a red bomb shot. And I took 2 of them, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna regret that later. So then,
were those the ones you tweeted out picture of?
yeah,
Okay.
Santa's Last Ride, which I was like, oh, perfect. There were some people at the tailgate that wouldn't drink them. They're like, I don't trust that. So that's kind of the vibe I'm kind of throwing down. I mean, there were bottles of like Fireball and Jameson and all that, but like the Santa's Last Rides were getting spins. So then we went to Harry Carey's, had a couple drinks there, and then get to Lottie's. And Hassan and Mario and I were just funneling, man.
Let's go.
Just too much. And I could feel my body clock just winding down because, you know, if you think about it, leave Boston on Friday at 8 in the morning or so, get to Buffalo, hang out with those guys at Bulldog's party. Shope was there too. What a time. I mean, one of the best parties I've been to. Bulldog is one of the coolest human beings ever. So is Shope, but Bulldog is like,
I was gonna say, why
I
you
like
ripping
them
on my
both.
guy's Shope? Why are you leaving?
Stop. I'm not doing that.
Dude, Parker Bulldog, aka Bulldog. You sent me a picture, the 3 of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a massive human being. I've only, I talked to him on a weekly basis for years now, but he looked like 2 of you.
He's 6'5", and he's got to be, I mean, I'm 220, 225. He's got to be, I don't know. I mean, he's got to be 280, 290, maybe more. I don't know. I didn't weigh him.
I'm just, he's just big. He's like, he's strong,
massive,
he's big. He's a big
and his kids are massive too. I met his 2 kids. They were cool. The one son works at the station too. Mike was awesome. Got to meet Mike's wife. The star of the party though was Mrs. Bulldog. She is the most fun person. And I brought, so I went to the liquor store and I got a nice bottle of bourbon for the party, which was gone once we went up to Bulldog's attic and started spinning vinyl records. The bourbon was gone in like 35 minutes. But I brought some nips to the party. And I didn't know it was Mrs. Bulldog's birthday. So immediately I'm like, oh, we got to do shots. And she goes, you have shots? And I go, put your hand in this bag. And I like a brown paper bag that I had the bourbon in. And she goes and she reaches into the bag and she pulls out 2 of the nips. And she's like, we are so doing this. And she basically like bit the cap off and pounded it. And I was like, oh my God. So we did some, they were like Deep Eddy lemonade. They're nothing crazy, like a lemon drop thing. So me and her were doing nips of lemon vodka, whatever. Just like such a good party. So, all right, so we do that. And then, then drive to Chicago the next day. And then I'm on fumes. So then the tailgate and then Harry's and then Lottie's. And like, I could just feel myself. I could feel myself shutting down.
How'd you get to Harry's? Harry
took an Uber.
No, I mean, like, whose idea was it?
Oh, that's mine. Well, Frankie O's my guy, the bartender.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big Frankie guy. I mean, naturally.
The same last name as me.
I know. Yeah. Ostrowski. Frankie O's I met Frankie when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
So we've been friends forever. So yeah, I went in there and he took care of the crew. And then Jake had this girl. I thought he was going to close her. He couldn't.
Why?
I don't know. I left. Obviously, I left and because Jake kind of lives, in the area, I guess. And I guess we should have him on and tell the story some other time. But she was like all about it. And then I don't know why they didn't leave, but then she was texting him or whatever, like afterwards, like, oh, we should have hung out. I was like, I don't know. Like I'm too old for that shit. But like,
yeah,
he was very smooth. And then I assumed that, they hung out afterwards, but they did not.
Damn. I gotta find out what happened too. I think he got annoyed with me earlier today because I heard about this story, enough details about him not closing the deal, and I saw him tweet out right after that, "I lost an AirPod." I said, "I heard you didn't lose your virginity."
Oh, Jake and Mario, I mean, age-wise, they're not the same. Mario is a little bit younger, I think, than Jake, right?
A little bit, but
Yeah,
I consider them the same.
but they're in their mid-20s.
Correct.
Like, those two and me are a dangerous combination.
Oh, no.
Dangerous.
Yeah, Mario kept texting me. He's like, "Are you coming? Are you coming?" He didn't want to be the only one to show up, and he didn't know anybody at the tailgate, so it
Oh, he
didn't
was fine.
surprise me.
Mario was
Yeah.
fine.
I was
Well,
like,
this.
"No, you'll be good."
Oh, dude, well, we walked to the back of the tailgate with VIP treatment, all that stuff, and then Mario's like, he could hang out with anybody. That's the scary part about thinking about moving back to Chicago. Like, I'll have to hang out with those two more often, and I can't. I'm too old to be running around ripping shots of Jameson at Lottie's.
Is that a thing? Is that a consideration?
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Alright.
So that was good. I mean, the trip, 15 hours in the car like a champ. Great tailgate, Bulldog Christmas, A+, and so now I can relax. We're going to do this show, and then you and I are probably going to take a week, and then we'll do Christmas with our families and everything.
Yep.
Survivor, you had some interesting Survivor stuff you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah, we're gonna rip through Survivor, our moons, and then best bets, and then we'll keep on rolling. So I'm not gonna keep you guys too much longer here, but it's very end of the year, end of the run. So I think it's worth discussing the Circa one, which is over $14 million. There are 10 entries remaining. There is one poker player that has 2 of these entries left. Everybody won. Houston almost lost, which would have created some chaos. But the Circa one, it's worth bringing up. There's one pending, San Francisco on Monday night. But it's interesting. Flup from the Hammer Betting Network, he's still alive. He's the one that had the Buffalo Bills available today. But a lot of sharp guys left in this. Unless San Francisco loses on Monday, nobody's going to be knocked out. They have the Christmas Day. We were talking about those bad games on Thursday. They have to pick one of those games. There's some bad quarterbacks, bad options too, Sammy. So that's going to be interesting to track. It's going to be less than 10 probably after Thursday. So I'm still in one. It's a 500K prize, but there's a lot of people left. There were 90 today. 8 got knocked out with Detroit. Pittsburgh winning. They knock out 8. So we're at 82. So even with 82 people left, each entry is worth $6,100. So hopefully I can win the last 2 weeks and try to get a bunch of people knocked out, and maybe we'll up that to around 10K or something like that. So I'm doing that. And we had Chirizi on the old show the other day. He won my high stakes pool last year, took it all. And he's in the final 4 in my high stakes pool over at Splash Sports this year. It's a $55,000 prize pool.
Whew.
He did not have Houston available. He lands on the Saints, wins easily. The other 3 with Houston just survived. They were hanging out in Vegas today. If the Texans lose that game, which they almost did, he takes it today and it's a wrap. But all 4 win. He advances there. Dude is awesome at Survivor. Still alive there. That's a single bullet entry. So this is his only entry, and he still has it alive. So good luck to him. And so that's your Survivor update as far as that goes. This week's going to be tough, man. If you're still alive in any revival pools, week 17 is the most challenging week. There will probably be options in week 18, bad quarterbacks playing and all that. But week 17 is going to be the tough one. I saved San Francisco thinking I was going to take them against the Bears. Sam, I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking San Francisco against the Bears.
I wouldn't. Not a chance. I didn't realize, obviously, you're much closer to the situation. It says Joe O's high stakes Survivor. So, of course, you're on top of it. I didn't realize that there were only 4 left and that they were all on Houston.
Yep.
So I did not realize the situation that I knew what he was going to do, but I didn't know that all the other contestants were on the same game. That could have been wild. Did you notice the picture that he put out from Vegas?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see the dude. What?
What?
How did you not see that? He put out a picture and he tagged Chicken Dinner in it.
Okay. Let me see.
Well,
I got to pull this up.
He put a picture up of the game, and there's a cuck chair like right underneath the TV. You didn't see it? I'm going to pull it up on YouTube.
Oh, I see it. I see it now.
I know. That I responded like, nice chair, you know? Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's the definition. Like when we talked about the observation chair on BetSweats, this is exactly what I was talking about.
I can't wait to see how we work this into a segment, because we've got to. Observation. We don't even have to call it the observation, but I kind of think it's funnier when you call it the observation chair. But yes, you're right.
If you're watching on YouTube, there it is. There's the chair right there.
Yep.
That's literally the observation chair right there. Who is sitting in that chair? Why would you sit in that chair when the TV's there?
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's so true. Good call.
I saw that tweet, and immediately the first thing I noticed was the observation chair.
Very good. All right, let's knock out Monday Moons. For people that haven't listened to the show and the old show, this is positive stuff. We're giving people credit for stuff over the weekend that we noticed. And, we tend to complain about stuff, so we want to be a little positive. What you got, Sam?
Church Moon. He gets a moon for sure. He was banging the table to tell people to ladder Chris Olave, who I believe almost had 150 yards receiving today. And the prop was 65.5 when Church was on our show last week. I don't know what it closed at. It didn't matter. We had so many people tweeting at us today and tagging Church in it, who's awesome. And if you don't know Church, Paul Charchian, you got to give him a follow. He said over on yards, ladder the yards, anytime touchdown. We had people saying that they were like betting him to have 100 yards, 125 yards, and they all hit. And Charch had explained how, look, they've made some moves. They traded Shaheed and Brandon Cooks. One of the other guys is hurt. Vele, I think, is the guy. So he was out, and he was bringing up Olave's targets and how much Tyler Shuck has been keying in on Chris Olave. That's one of the best handicaps I've heard all season on a guy like ladders and touchdown. And I'll be like, Chris Olave had maybe the best game of anybody in the NFL today.
We got a tweet about an hour ago here at Steve J Stuff. And thanks for the info with Sam and Joe earlier this week on their old show. Looking forward to hearing you with them going forward as they grow Chicken Dinner. Sends a screenshot. Chris Olave, receiving leader. Put $50 on it, 30-1.
Holy shit.
1,500.
Good for him. I love Steve Sufferton. That's my guy.
That's awesome. Nice hit. Nice hit.
Woo! 50 to win 1,500. I got to retweet that from the show. That's sick. Yep. Yeah, the chair though was wild. I'm still getting notifications about the chair that Chirizi posted. So Charch Moon number 1, Night King Moon, Caleb Williams. I mean, come on, man. That throw, everything on the line. The Packers are in your building trying to beat you again. NFC North crown hanging in the balance. You don't really need to throw that ball, but man, the trust between Johnson and Caleb at that point of the game to go for it. No, we don't want a field goal. We're going to win it right here. Watch this. That's an unbelievable throw. And it just exploded the city of Chicago. So Paul Charchian gets 1 moon. Caleb Williams gets the 2nd for me.
All right, very good. All right, our listeners, our viewers, question. I've seen both. Are we referring to them as the flock or chicken heads?
I don't know. I like flock. Flock is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people responded to Flock the other day, and then I saw some tweets referring to chicken heads. I'm like, oh, that's good too. Chicken Moon goes to everybody supporting this show. Please continue to do so. We greatly appreciate it. Bear Moon, Chris Felica, man, we've shit on him a lot about the Miami stuff.
No, we
And,
don't. We don't
I mean,
shit on
in
him
a
a
fun
lot.
way. In a fun way, right? Like you after you leave New York, like you've had enough of the U, and it comes out here and there in a fun way, not shitting on him in a mean way, right? We love the Bear.
Yeah,
Everybody
of
loves the
course.
Bear.
Of course.
But good. His team won. He's going to the quarterfinals. Let's see what happens.
He was on a cruise. Him and his wife are in like
Really?
Turks and Caicos. So he had to watch the game on a laptop or something like that because they didn't have like the ability to watch it
Oh, wow.
on the so he's like,
Was he not expecting them to be in the playoffs? Apparently.
I think he thought they were going to win the ACC and get a bye. I think that's what he thought going into the year. So he sent a picture. He was in like this secret room, like watching the game on a laptop,
What kind
like
of chair?
it's a normal chair, I'm pretty sure. Good for him, man. I mean, now you got to take out Ohio State, but the Miami Notre Dame thing really put Bear on the map this year, and he ended up being right. So good for him.
All right, Who Moon. Who the fuck are you, Jade Walker? 4th and 4, game on the line, and then Caleb's going to this undrafted rookie in the back of the end zone. I'm like, who's 20? Who is that? I'm like, there's no way he's going to go down to the ground with it and hold on to this, and he does. Kept the game alive. Jade Walker. He got a game ball in the good, better, best, and he gets a moon from us. And then the last one, let's go back to that.
Did Ben Johnson like take his pants off this week? I didn't see what happened.
I was expecting. I'm like, how do you top? You just beat the Packers finally.
You
like,
just get naked.
That's what I was.
Buck ass naked right in the locker room.
I said, birthday suit, Ben Johnson. Let's go. He didn't do it though, but it was an exciting locker room. Let's go back to that Miami game. We're gonna give out. I think you've got a photo there. The Lisa Ann Moon. And this goes to a Bella Danger. This was everywhere. She was in attendance at the U football game, and
there it is.
There were a lot of viewers that took notice, like, oh, that's a Bella Danger at the game, with a cutoff there, looking good. So, Lisa Ann Moon, I saw. Can you read the tweet there that you posted?
Oh, you want me to read the tweet? Sure. This is from
well, it's small for me.
Sean Joseph, Where was Brent Musburger when you need him? As cameras showed a Bella Danger.
all-time moment from Uncle Brent back in the day with the Florida State Cowgirls. We all remember that. But it was a quick cutaway too. I don't know if somebody yelled something in the truck or what was going on there, but a lot of people had fun with that. So that's my Lisa Ann Moon. To Bella Danger.
I saw this today and I thought about you. I wanted to bring it up on the show. Apparently, on this day in 2001, the WWE on Monday Night Raw did an eggnog match. Do you remember this?
No, but I'm imagining what you're about to say.
So it was Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler.
Let's go.
Wrestling in a kid's pool filled with eggnog.
I kind of remember it now, I think.
I don't remember it, but I saw that and I'm like, God, they did the wildest stuff back in the day on the WWF.
It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Christmas Eve 2001. Wow. Phenomenal. Oh, yeah, I see some photos.
Oh, I went back and watched it. Don't you worry.
You watched the whole thing?
It was yes, yeah. And? I had rewind it. It was great. I would highly suggest it.
Okay.
I would go watch the eggnog match between Stacey Keibler and who did I just mention? Who was the other one?
Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler.
Yeah, Tori Wilson and Stacey
Yeah.
Keebler. I completely lost my train of thought because I was looking at them
Apparently.
in the eggnog pool again.
Of course.
Yes. We got to get. I mean, talk about unicorns on the show. We have to get Lisa Ann on Chicken Dinner. It has to happen.
It will. It will. We were
Okay.
depending on Paul. It failed somehow. We will find a way. I'm sure her DMs are very clean, and we will appear in those DMs to try to contact her. I think we have an email actually,
No,
right?
I don't think we. I think we just have to. We basically have to go barstool on it, and what I mean by that is we have to tweet about it ourselves. Because like I don't even know if she looks at her DMs, and I don't blame her.
No.
If we were to tweet at her because she follows both of us, like I'll even do it myself. I'll be like, "Hey, Lisa, long time coming. We need to get you on the show," and then we have all of our audience tweet at the replies. So we turn it into like an organic thing where we orchestrate a play via tweet. Like we're going to throw the Hail Mary, we're going to tweet at her, and then have everybody else come in and follow. I think that's better than DMing or cold.
Yes, I don't think we're getting a response. I don't think it's going to be ever read if we just DM or cold. That must be a disgusting place. All right, do you have a best bet to wrap? I'm not sure when we're going to be on next. It's going to be tough because you got Christmas on Thursday, so we know nobody's going to be listening there, and then we've got the Christmas games. Like maybe if we could put something together quickly, like a super short episode for Friday, maybe that's a possibility. But
Maybe.
it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
But
I did put best bets in the rundown, and now that I realize that we're so far away from the weekend, like here are some games that I think I'm going to be on, and we can follow up, like you said, if we can do something maybe on Friday, like a little short snippet. I will look to back Carolina at home catching a touchdown. And I think I'm going to be on the over 45 between Philly and Buffalo. That game to me could be, 28-27 either way. Like I think that's going to be a game with some fireworks. So at this point on a Monday morning in Chicago, 12:20, as we rock and roll this taping here, I lean Carolina +7, Philly Buffalo over 44.5. You can find. Other books are at 45. And then I will be on Texas Tech, but that game is not until New Year's Eve.
yeah, we'll probably have multiple shows before we even get to that one. I was looking at the Christmas Day games. You're right. It's tough. We've got that triple header. I don't know that because of the quarterback situation that you need to watch every game. I think we're on the opposite side. You were leaning Oppo on this one. And I'm looking at one of those quarterback injury games. The Cowboys offense, at least in the first half, they look good. And that's a strong Chargers defense. But the Chargers ended up putting the clamps on them. Commanders are not going to put the clamps on them. Josh Johnson looks awful. And they'll say, oh, full week of practice. Is Mariota going to play? I'm assuming he's not. It's a short week. He got stitches in his throwing hand. Season's over. Why are they going to force Mariota out there? I'm expecting to be Josh Johnson. I would lay 5.5 with the Dallas Cowboys because I'm expecting Johnson to be playing in this game and not Mariota, and the Dallas Cowboys should be able to name their score. I know they have tough time stopping teams, but I'm not scared of this Commanders offense down to QB3 here. So I will lay the number with Dallas in that one.
I can't wait for the Bills to beat Philly and then
Yes.
not lose a game the rest of the year. That's all I want for Christmas. You know that.
That'll be good. That'll be good. All right. So again, we're going to try to get maybe a quick episode out there for you guys. Hopefully you'll be able to listen or watch the show, but we appreciate all the support, man.
Have a Merry Christmas too. I'm not a Happy Holidays guy. I'm a Merry Christmas guy. So please enjoy that. Watch the games, have fun, but spend time with your families and your loved ones if you can. And we'll be able to do, I think, something maybe early on Friday. Like I think we should do like maybe 10 minutes or something, just short, sweet, to the point. And then we'll do another episode next week. And then when we get back into the routine from Christmas and all this, I think we're looking full throttle, like 2 episodes a week through Super Bowl. and then go from there. But a lot of exciting things. I mentioned, Corby's going to have a show that we're going to do together. You have talked to a couple of people. We've had several people reach out about sponsoring the show and forking money into this thing. We've got the merch store coming up, and just keep driving home the YouTube. I mean, the 91 comments on our first show back together was insane. And I've looked at most of them. I've been reading reviews all day today. I've been taken back by how much people love this show and love us working together, and we feel it. We really do. It means a lot. And I was literally, when I called you at 8:30 tonight, I was ready to go. I was like, I'm ready to go right now. But it just means the world to see the likes, the comments, the downloads. I mean, we added almost 500 YouTube subscribers in one day, and it's only up from here, man. It's not going the other way. I can tell you that much.
It drives us, guys. It makes it feel worthwhile, and we don't want to drop the ball on this show. We regret doing it in the past, and we're not going to do it this time. So keep spreading the word with all your friends and family over the holidays as well. Sam, Merry Christmas. Flock, Merry Christmas.